Good morning. Welcome back to Life with Java. For those of you who don't know, I'm Java. I'm a 51-year-old late diagnosed autistic woman. I am a housewife and a full-time mother, homeschool teacher to my 10-year-old autistic son. Today we're going to talk about understanding that different people have different perspectives on things. Welcome to Life with Java. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave me a comment. Good morning. Jackson and I have been busy this morning doing some artwork, some drawing, some coloring, and I thought it would be a good chance while we have all this out to talk a little bit about autism and perspective taking. We're also going to touch a little bit on literal thinking. I'm trying out a new microphone today. I've had this for a while and never tried it, so let me know if you like the sound quality better or if you think it's the same or no different than just using my phone. But since I am a distance away from the phone, I thought this might be an easier way for you to hear me better. Jackson and I have been working today on these papers that say things like, it's not a ghost, it's a something. It's not a smile, it's a something. These have been very important in our journey of helping Jackson learn about perspective taking. A lot of times in neurodivergent children and even older neurodivergent people can struggle with this. And I say neurodivergent because it's not strictly autism. I know a lot of ADHD kids struggle with this too. It's hard for a neurodivergent mind to understand that different people have different perspectives, that other people have thoughts and feelings that are different than theirs, and nobody is right and nobody is wrong, that all perspectives are valid and equal. So we have been using these to kind of teach that. Along with teaching that, we've also helped expand a little bit, Jackson and I both, our literal thinking, because when we see an object, that's the object we see. We're not great at seeing one object and having our mind wrap around that it could be a different object, if that makes sense. So back to these. It's not a baseball, it's a what? Well, it's hard for us to kind of decide what else could this be besides a baseball, because when you see it, it looks like a baseball. So we've gotten out of our literal thinking by being more creative, but we've also started understanding that two people can have very different perspectives, and we are both accurate and correct. We are both, nobody's right and nobody's wrong. So, for instance, let me find two that we've done the same. When we first started these, we've had these for probably about a year now, and I ordered this printable package from Teachers Pay Teachers. When we first started, these are some of our first ones. It's not a strawberry, it's a what? Well, you can see that in Jackson's very literal mind, he had trouble kind of deciding that a strawberry could be something else, but he made it into a strawberry bomb, which is still very creative. Then I showed him what I came up with. Mom's making a video, okay?
Okay.
You can come in, but you need a shirt on. So Jackson made the strawberry bomb. He did turn it into something else, but his mind was still very literal and thought of it as a strawberry, which is very understanding. I came up with a little boy hiding behind a tree. So it gave Jackson the idea that I can have a different perspective, that my perspective is still pretty cool and pretty valid, but it's not any better or any worse than his. But it gave him an idea a little bit more creative, that I turned the strawberry top into hair and I turned the strawberry body into a face. Then, a few days later, trying to find some that we did the same. We had It's Not a Bunny, and it had just two little bunny ears. I wish I had all of the blank ones, but a lot of the ones that we've done the same, we don't have another blank one. So Jackson was still, fairly literal. He took the bunny ears, but he made it into a headset, it says, like headphones, like bunny-shaped headphones that go over your ears. So very impressive, very creative, still a little bit literal. But then he saw mine, which gives him an idea that my perspective is different, that my eyes and my mind kind of see it in a different way. And I came up with a gymnast. At this time, I think Ava had just been here, and she was showing me her gymnastics moves. So even in my mind, I was fairly literal. I saw it as something that I had just recently talked about and seen. But anyway, there we are, two different perspectives on the same picture, both correct and both fun to look at. So I just thought, maybe this would be helpful to one of your children or someone in your life, or maybe you're a teacher and you have students. I know one of our followers is going to school to be a therapist. These fun little projects can be extremely helpful in therapy to help teach perspective taking and to help have a little bit more of a flexible mindset. Here's another one we've done. We had practiced these many times since then. We have tons of these that are done, and I've thrown some of them away. I don't keep everything. You could tell that Jackson's getting a little bit more creative with his thinking as the months go by, as we keep working on these. So instead of a square, he made a snowbot. Jackson was really fascinated with robots at the time. It was also winter. We had been making snowmen and talking about snowmen. So he came up with a snowbot. And I think that is just absolutely adorable. And for my square, again, it was Christmas time and holiday time. I made mine into a present. And by this point in time, Jackson's is actually more creative than mine is. I was still in my literal state of mind. I have a very, very, very literal mind. One of my traits of autism, I guess you would say, is I have an extremely literal mind, and sometimes I wish I wasn't quite so literal. It makes life really confusing sometimes. We went on. I'll show you a couple more just because I think you might want to look at them. Jackson made a pencil into a fan. He's getting much more creative here, and this takes time. This takes a lot of talking about perspective, a lot of talking about seeing things in a different way than the exact way that they appear when we first look at them. He made a fan out of his pencil, and I made a man. And once again, they're both creative. They're both accurate. They both look really cool using what was given to us as a guideline. And so with this idea, when we go on through life and we go on through our days, and Jackson is struggling to relate to someone else that has a different idea or a different opinion, or he's really struggling, he's like stuck in his own perspective and really can't see another way to do something, or why somebody else would want another way to do something, I can kind of revert or resort. I think my mind was trying to say both of those. Me and my word recall is not good. I can resort back or revert back to these, and I can say, let's think about the perspective taking papers. Let's think about if this was a drawing. Let's think about this situation as if it was an art project. Just because so-and-so sees it this way doesn't mean they're wrong. But just because you see it this way doesn't mean you're wrong. You can both be right. You can both be correct, and you can move forward knowing that neither one of you are wrong. We don't need to argue about it. We don't need to be upset about it. Different people have different perspectives. It's been just such a great teaching tool. This is one that Jackson did this morning. We both did this one this morning. It was a cloud, and it was just a little bitty squiggle of a cloud. And Jackson made a scythe out of it. He calls it a scythe, and I call it a scythe. Once again, maybe neither one of us are right or wrong. We just say it differently. But I thought that was very creative, and I turned mine into a butterfly. I'm not as creative as Jackson is, but both, great. The cloud was this little bitty just first part of this right here. It went from about right here to about right here. Let's see if we've done any more that are the same. I don't know if we've done any more that are the same. I did this one this morning. It was a car, and it showed just this part of a car and the two windows. It was kind of like the top of a Beetle Bug, a Volkswagen, and I turned it into a frog, and Jackson thought that was really cool. He actually said he wants to cut that out and laminate it. And this is one of my favorite ones that Jackson has done. This was a little bitty part of a snowflake. I wish I had one to show you. I don't know that I do or not. I like using Teacher Pays Teacher for things because I could reprint these anytime I wanted. Oh, here's Jackson made a lightning bolt into a halberd, whatever that is. He knows the name of lots of different um, types of weapons, I guess you would say. I don't see the snowflake, but anyway, it was just literally the very, very top tip of a snowflake. And Jackson created it into the bow of the tournament, which is probably something from a game. But I love this. I love the thought that he put behind it. I love the colors and the creativity. This is, if you can see these three little, they almost look like legs on this eagle or whatever it is. That was all there was to the snowflake in the beginning. So this shows me huge growth in his creativity. But also these are really, really helping on perspective taking. I won't show you all of them. There are many, many, many of them. It's been so long since I ordered them on Teacher Pay Teacher that I don't remember exactly what I searched for. I saw these on either a TikTok or a Reel, and a teacher was showing these, and she was using them in her, I think her special education classroom or maybe her regular classroom, but she was trying to teach perspective taking with this also. And I think I just went on Teacher Pay Teacher and searched, it's not a something, it's a something, and came up with this. But I could probably find the link if anybody wants it. I think that's going to be it for this video. I know it's a short one, but I just kind of wanted this to be its own video and its own kind of lesson or teaching. I am trying to put some of my videos listed as educational so that they go out to people who are trying to learn about neurodivergence. And then I'm putting the majority of my day in the life videos under like people and blogs or something like that. So I'm trying to split them up a little bit and reach an audience for both, for both types of video. Some of you are here for the day in the lives, and some of you prefer just to see the day-to-day part of our lives. And I love that. I love making those, and I appreciate all of you who watch those. You've really given me something to do and something to look forward to every day. But there are also others of you who are here as caregivers, parents, teachers, therapists, or what have you, and you are trying to learn kind of how we work on skills like this, life skills and day-to-day skills. So this is for you guys. I hope me rustling the papers around wasn't too noisy. I thank you so much for watching, and I will see you on the next video. Have a great day.